We now have recognitions and reports. Danielle Clark, Executive Director of Communications, is here to lead us in that.
Thank you, Mrs. Kipp, members of the board, members of the community. This evening we are going to honor two wonderful community partners and one outstanding teacher. So we're going to start with Book Trust. So Michelle, would you and your crew like to come up? Really quickly, Book Trust is a national organization that started right here in Fort Collins. Adrienne Schatz went to Cash Laputer Elementary School and remembered that when she was in school, she always wondered why some kids couldn't buy books at the Scholastic Book Fair. So she started Book Trust to help kids who couldn't afford books to buy books at the Scholastic Book Fair. So this is Michelle Marquitz with Book Trust, and we have our Northern Colorado board as well as members of our national board here with us this evening. So, Michelle.
Thank you. So if I can just introduce the folks who are behind me. So I'll start with the Northern Colorado board members. We've got Carol Cochran and Joanna Blasini and John Hintzman. And then we've got two of our national board members. So we currently serve kids in 19 states, 53,000 kids that started from this little trust of Cash Laputer School. So we've got two of the national board members. We've got Cheryl Zimlick and Amy Kolchak with us. And then we've also got Linda Mitchell, who's the Vice President of Development with Book Trust, who's in Denver normally, but came up to be with us today. So Linda. So we just wanted to say thank you so much for acknowledging the work that Book Trust is doing. As I said, 53,000 kids, and the way that we serve, similar to you guys serving in the school system, is that we allow the kids to choose from the Scholastic form $7 worth of books each month of the school year, and they get to keep those books. And the magic, if you ever have a chance, and we're in Poudre School District often, I think we've got 6 Feed the Read celebrations, and I call that the magic. When the kids actually get the books, they're so excited. You get a chance to read with the kids and really to see what a difference that literacy and community partnerships can make for the kids. So thank you so much for the honor. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
And on behalf of the school board, we congratulate and thank the members of the Book Trust, and it's such a delight to see kids' eyes light up when they get their own copy of a book. And from personal experience, if they read books on the school bus, it tends to keep them from engaging in other types of shenanigans. So bus drivers appreciate that as well. Thank you.
Okay, so next we're going to honor the MIC Backpack program. So Director Fevra, if you would join me, and Mr. Lake and Mr. and Mrs. Pleacher and Mr. Nuttall, if you're here, come on up. Well, we're well acquainted with the MIC Backpack program. They provide wonderful, nutritious food for our students to take home over the weekend so that they are provided meals for themselves and their family when they might not otherwise have it. So, again, a wonderful program that started right here in Fort Collins. And so if you want to come talk about what you do and how long you've been doing it and how many kids you serve, come on up.
Next month will be our 10th year. We started with 5 bags in 2 schools. And last year, we actually packed 12,183 bags, and that fed, it created meals of 123,828 meals, and it just keeps growing. Usually when you give a report, it's nice to say our business is growing, Well, unfortunately, I can't say it's good, but we have grown by 47% since 2012. That's how many kids we feed each weekend. And they're great kids. I mean, I don't have to tell you that, but I do have to tell you one quick story that I just absolutely love about doing this. We had two girls who were observed by a counselor taking food out of their bag, taking peanut butter out of their bag and giving it to a third girl. Well, that's a no-no. You're not supposed to open your bags until you get home, of course. But when the counselor asked her why she was doing that, she said, well, this is Lisa, and Lisa's only been here 2 weeks, so she's not getting any food bags, and she and her mother are living on a tent on the Poudre River, so we wanted to give them some peanut butter. That's all they have to eat. So it always breaks me up to think that here's the kids who themselves are food insecure, giving part of their food away, and that's why we do this. It's such a wonderful fun to do that. So, again, 123,828 meals last year for kids who are food insecure, and we just love doing it. We have about 60 volunteers that show up every week, including some members of the Board of Education show up. So we really love doing it, and thank you very much.
Dale, can you introduce the people behind you?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. She said their names. This is Bruce Nettles. Oh, okay. You can't hear me? Okay. Bruce Nettles on the left here, and Carol Pleacher and Dave Pleacher. Carol is really now the director of the project, and we appreciate her so much. And I can tell you why she's the director is because we said, who's going to speak? And she said, you are, Dale.
So later tonight we'll be talking about partnerships with the district. As we all know, we cannot do this without partnerships amongst the group. And as I like to say, to improve achievement in the district, probably the top things we can do is make kids feel safe and certainly make people who are hungry feel fed. So we can't thank you all enough for the efforts you put in to help the district. Thank you on behalf of the board.
So from great community partners to wonderful staff members, now we have one of the 2017 outstanding teachers from the Colorado Council of Teachers of Mathematics from Fort Collins High School. We have Mr. Mark Eversole and Mr. Chris Supis and Ms. Gutowski. So Mr. Eversole, if you'd like to come up and talk about Mr. Supis and this award and how long he's been with PSD and all that good stuff.
Thank you, Board, and Dr. Smizer. It's my wonderful opportunity to let you know, well, what Danielle just said. Colorado Council of Teachers of Mathematics. This is one of the award recipients, one of the top math teachers in the state of Colorado. Some of the past PSD folks that have received this award have been Kate Kanine, and many of you know Kate, along with Sarah Slagle, who's over at Front Range Community College, and Amanda Manley, who's at Rocky Mountain High School. The nice thing about the last three names is that they all taught at Fort Collins High School at some point. So the nice thing is Chris has been in education for 26 years, 18 years at Fort Collins High School in a number of roles. He's also been a coach for several of our sports and continues to do that for us as well. He's a kid magnet when it comes to growing programs, and I think that's indicative of just his style and his charisma. Does the same thing in the classroom as well. Great with kids, and I think that's one of the things that I really appreciate about Chris is that he connects with them and he gets the job done. So Chris was at Loveland. We stole him from Loveland. Was that your first 8 years or so? Yeah, something like that, 8 years or so. And we snagged him as soon as there was a coaching position and a teaching position, and we've been better for it. So Chris, so it's all you.
Thanks very much for this recognition. I say this every time I've come up here, and I'm going to say it again. I'm truly a PSD person. I went to Timnath Elementary School, Bolts Junior High School, Fort Collins High School, and I'm a CSU RAM graduate. One of the reasons I'm such a great teacher is because I learned everything I know from my Colorado history class in the 7th grade. Right, Ms. Gutowski. So either way, so I'm very appreciative of it, and it's a great district and just a wonderful place to teach. So thank you very much. So.
Well, it's always a treat. I mean, always a treat when I get to hand out awards recognitions to former students. And as Chris mentioned, he was a student of mine at Bolts. And I had his sister. I had a lot of Supases. He comes from an amazing family, good gene pool. I've had an opportunity to watch Chris over the years become an outstanding teacher, husband, father, I mean the whole bit, beautiful family, and an excellent coach. And he is truly a PSD product, excellent individual, and I'm so proud of Chris for this. So another applause for you.